Hi, this is Jane again. This time we're going to do die cutting. I'm going to try my best to keep it in order with the phone that's videotaping this. Here we go, die cutting. These are dies. Dies are mostly metal. There are some out there that are plastic. They don't work as well. There's a smooth side to every die, and there's a rough side here. This is the part that actually cuts it out. It doesn't cut it out as you was seeing like a knife or, sharp edges. It's kind of raised. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's the edge along the way, and this edge happens to go all the way around. Don't know if you can see that or not. And this is also a die. This is a simple die. This also has a raised edge. The raised edge goes down on a piece of paper like that. So in order to cut, you have to put it down on the paper, and the smooth side is up. Okay, how do you die cut? Okay, this is a die cutting machine. Put this over there. This happens to be a Sizzix die cutting machine. It has this base. This base, you don't use anything on this. You don't cut on this, nothing. It's pretty thick, and it also happens to be magnetic. That's always there. We have a little handle here that you turn, and in case you need to cut, put your hand and get some support, you do that, and that goes through. So you see that. Now what you do is you make what we call a sandwich when you cut through all these dies. For a simple die, you have one plate. This plate I'm calling a cutting plate. That goes there. Hope you can see that. And then I have a top plate so that you can see this is a different color. And we are going to cut a simple die. This is simple. We're putting it down with the smooth side up. You don't have to actually tape it down with some it doesn't want to be too sticky. That's what I'm doing so that it doesn't move. We're going to put the top plate on top, and then we're just going to turn the handle. And that noise you just heard, that's no problem. No problem at all. You're just hearing it come through the die. Now, how do you know it's actually, we're successful with this? You can see it all the way around. It's almost like you can see the die through that. I'm going to take this off. That's the die, and that's your circle. Nice and clean, nice and simple. All right, put that aside. Put that over here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the intricate die. You don't use this on that. The best thing you can do is another sandwich. This is a metal die. As you can see, we're going to line it up, and that way, and we're going to make sure that all the edges are straight, and this is not crooked. We have a piece of paper, maybe cardstock, mostly cardstock. A regular paper I would not recommend. Again, the smooth side is up. The cutting side is down. You put the paper or the cardstock first. The die goes next. Now I'm going to use tape. The reason I'm going to do this is because chances are you're probably going to have to put this through at least 2 times. And you want to keep it there. So this is very low tack tape. It almost looks like a transparent masking tape. Okay, we're going to take our top plate. This is the sandwich. So you have the base plate, you have the metal, you have the die cut, you have the top plate. Everything's lined up, and we're going to go through this. Takes a little bit of strength, but not that much. And you can tell when you're done through the die. Now, every die cutting machine has a part of it that doesn't like to cut. That's just life. Okay, let's see if this is cut through. Not quite, because you cannot see the metal through the back. So what I do at that point, if I can find my paper, I know I have paper. I take some scrap paper. At this point, I'm going to put it underneath. That's one. And just excuse me for a minute. And another piece of paper. So I'm going to do 2 pieces of paper. Scrap paper that I don't use. Maybe it's something that I made mistakes with. All right, we're going to put that underneath. Yes, it still will cut, and hopefully it will not make a liar out of me. Okay, we're going to put it in. Everything's lined up straight, and this is going to take a little bit of extra strength because you have something thicker in there, so obviously. Now, if it doesn't cut through the whole way, we're going to reposition the die and the paper. So let's see. Ooh, look at that. Okay, that's good. All the way around, you can see the cutting. It's much better. You can see some of the die coming through. Right, now we're going to take this off carefully. Do your best to take the tape off the die, and of course it's not doing that. So what else is new? Take that out. Now, if you saw the parchment video, then you would know what a pokey tool is. My good old pokey tool. Best thing you can do, if you can take this off, you can put it off later. You're going to just push this through, because that's the part that's going to be open. There we go. Push as much as you can. Just poke as much as you can out. If it doesn't go really quick, that means it doesn't go all the way through. That means that part is not going to be cut out. And we're doing this on a couple of different places so that we loosen up the paper. It's underneath. There we go. And we're going to carefully pull it away. And there is your die cut. Let's see, anything else we have to put through? I don't think that is, nope. That has a little bit of embossing on it, kind of a raised thing. It's kind of hard to see at this point. Look at that, it's all cut out and ready for you to put on your card top, however you want to do that. So that tells you how to make an intricate die. All right, there's sometimes you want to emboss the whole piece of paper. And I'll show you why. What we have back here is example number 1. Example number 1. This is a die cut out of this die cut machine. Metal die cut thing. All right, I can't talk. And it's very plain. I just put it on there, and you look at it, and it's, I don't know about that. It doesn't look so good. I take this out. Those are my notes. Okay, we're going to change that and make it more interesting. So I'm not going to use this one at all. So we die cut everything. Push this aside. This is an A2 card. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 once it's folded. Making this a masculine card. This is embossing right here. I don't know if you can see that. So that's the embossed side. Turn it over. That's the debossed side. And this is the double stick tape that we're going to take off when we put it together. This is what's cut out. It's called an intricate die. It's, in order to cut that out, you have the simple die and the intricate die that you place together and put it in the machine. And it goes on with the metal part. This is the other part. The larger part, what I did was I put a darker backing on that and the lighter one on top. I also layered it so that it's a little bit thicker, so I put 2 of these light color brown together and actually glued it together. Alrighty, so that explains how I did that. I explained to you guys already about cutting this die. Put that aside, and we're going to emboss a piece of paper so that you know how to do it. We're going to put this aside because we're going to put it together. We're going to bring this over. We're going to take the metal part off. There we go. Put that aside. And I know I have this here. Okay, here we go. I would say this is a die folder. It opens up. You can tell that there's raised parts and there's indentation for the die in order for the folder here to make a textured part, a textured piece of paper, just so that it makes it more interesting. So I hope I'm going to use, this is a 5 by 7. I'm going to try this. I'm going to hope, okay, that this part is going to be the top of the card. And you put it in and you fold it down. Next, you have a cutting, got your cutting board here. I'm going to put this rubber piece here. It's very thin. I'm going to put this, now the folded part that folds here goes into the machine first. So we do it that way. Then we're going to put my trusty, is this going to work? Let's see. We're going to put this part and let's see if this will work. I don't know if it will. And you start putting it through. If there's a lot of resistance, we don't want that. So we'll try this one, our Magic Mat, which is thinner. Going to line that up and put put that through. There is still resistance, and it's not working. Of course not. It worked before. Let's pull this out. This time I'm going to take that out, the rubber thing, and we're going to try this. On every embossing folder, it's different. It's nothing standard about anything. They don't have any standard operating procedure, and this doesn't seem to want to go either. It worked before. Okay. Try it again. I wrote this down on how we're supposed to do this. Put that here, that here. Let's see how that goes. All right, we have some pressure going through the machine. We're going to put it this way, whoops, and we're going to go the other way. And we will see if this gets embossed. If it's not embossed, we're going to put a piece of paper as a shim. Going to open this up just a tiny bit and take a look. Oh yeah, it works. I used this silver paper just for the hay of it, and you can see that it is embossed, so it's not a plain piece of silver paper. It has more interest. So that gives you an idea on how to do embossing. Now, we're going to put this away. Hello. And we're going to put this card together. We're going to layer this. And you always layer in 1/4 inch increments. So this is 4.5 by 5.5. We're going to show you this. I'm going to put that there so you will see how layering works, kind of. The larger one, so the design is going on top, and we're putting another one on top of that. And I had another piece. Here it is. And if you would like to stamp a sentiment on here, you put that on top. This is all part of the same die. So I think it's much better when you have the embossing. And I think this is great for a mail at this point. So I'm going to do something different. So instead of trying to actually make a border all the way around, and you know, this will be simple too. It's going to look like a book. I'm going to put this all the way to the side, and the tape is down, and my pokey tool is where? There it is. Pull the tape off. For me, it's better with the pokey tool. This is red liner tape is what it's called. It's supposed to be very strong. I don't know about that. We're going to see. This is what I'm going to do. I'm only going to take part of it off. And you're going to see why. Oh, that's coming off the same way. We want to make sure that the sticky part is still on the card. Here we go. Come on. I know you're there. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing here. You can do it with your fingernails, but if you have $100 manicure. I wouldn't do that. So this is all loose, and this is the sticky part that I took the whole thing on. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to stand up on this. Make sure that the opening is where you want it, so you don't put it someplace and it goes the wrong way. Yes, people do that. So I'm going to put this right on the edge and try to make the top and bottom about the same margin. That's not that quite good. Can I take it and move it? Not quite. Oh, yeah, I can do that. Move that to the edge. I saw my other video and I looked at my hands and I go, oh my God, it's so, it looks so old. Oh my God. Yeah, I didn't realize it was that old. Now that we have that straight, it's supposed to go through this, and that makes it simpler to take off. Okay, is it this side? Yes, it is. Take that off. And is it this side? Yes, it is. Okay. We want to make this so that it sticks. The next layer I have is brown. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to put that to the side all the way at the end on the fold. And we're going to do the same thing. I'm sorry this is going to be so long, but I just want to show you everything. We're just going to make some of this loose. And we got the stick. Oh, my head's in the way. So we know the sticky part is loose. That's part of it. So when we finish placing this down and adhering this, it will be easier to take the tape off. I have done this with taking the tape all the way off and then regretted it and said a few words that I can't say right now. And we're going to do the same thing here. Put that to the side and try to make, let's see, the top and bottom. It doesn't have to be perfect. And look what we're doing. So we have a margin here, we have a margin there, we have a margin here. This is the embossed part. Terrific, right? This has more tape on it, the double-sided tape, simply because of the embossing. If you actually, come on, baby. If you just put glue on it, it's not going to stay because of the little grooves. That was my tip for the day. Jeez. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut this video off, and we're going to go, and I'll go on to the next one. So I'm going to shut this off, and I'll be back.